Hello and welcome to HCS Connects. I'm Kelly Gorel with Hampton City Schools. This year for the 23-24 school year, we have 4 brand new executive principals at each of our 4 high schools. And today we have the opportunity to speak with Dr. Tanya Howard, who is the executive principal at Bethel High School, as well as Mr. Haneef Majied, who is the executive principal at the Hampton High School. So welcome to HCS Connects.
Thank you. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. So again, you all are new to HCS Connects, but not new to Hampton City Schools. And we're going to learn all about like what's going on within your buildings and your new position. But before we start on that path, we'd like to get to know a little bit more about you all, because this is the kind of fun facts, tell us about you. We all want to know about those executive principals. So Dr. Howard, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm a career switcher. I originally started substitute teaching when I was trying to figure out exactly what I wanted to do when I moved to Virginia. I started at Eaton Middle School, and I was fortunate to work with some incredible teachers like Miss Watts, Miss Cohen, Miss Henderson, Miss Mayo, and they poured into me. And I think it's at that moment I realized I wanted to teach while I was finishing up my degree. In 2007, Myra Chambers recruited me to Hampton High School. I was a CTE teacher there. I've actually taught in all of the high schools except for Bethel High School and Bridgeport, which I think helped solidify my practice. Shortly after that, I became a graduation specialist at Hampton High School. I was a college and career coach first. Then I became a graduation specialist, and after 3 years, I decided I wanted to be an academy principal. And I went to Bethel High School, where I served under Ralph Saunders for 5 years before becoming the executive principal this year.
So you said that you were a graduation coach, and I know that obviously because you have been at Bethel High School as an academy coach, you have been at all the graduations. But this year you'll be the executive principal handing out those diplomas. So it's kind of full circle. That's pretty cool.
It is, absolutely.
And no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say especially because I will have been with this class for the entire time, for the entire 4 years. So it's very special.
Oh, that's true, because you came as the academy coach at Bethel, and when they were freshmen?
As the academy principal, when they were, well, 2 years before they were freshmen, but I've been there with them through COVID, through everything. So this is really a special class.
Oh, that's very cool. So you said you were a career switcher. What did you do prior to teaching?
I worked in retail, and with all the long hours, and I actually was in Southern California. So my parents were here, and I decided to relocate so that I could be closer to my parents.
Okay, you made me chuckle a little bit though, because you said I was in retail with all the long hours.
Oh, yeah.
Come on now. we know it's yeah, I mean, Mr. Majied is over here like cracking up as well.
Yes.
Like, we know the long hours that educators put in. You may not physically have to do that customer service piece at maybe 9 o'clock at night. Well, yeah, you do, even whenever you're at game. So
absolutely, it prepared me well for this.
There you go.
Absolutely, but I think a lot of this is self-imposed. Majied and I and the other 2 executive principals have known each other. We've been principals, academy principals the whole time together. So we've known each other. I think a lot of it is kind of self-imposed. It's just that we don't know when to stop or when to slow down. So it's a different kind of long hours and pressure, because the end result is that we're serving students.
Well, good answer.
And on the way, it's still customer service.
It is absolutely.
It is still customer service.
Students,
Absolutely.
parents, community.
All right, Mr. Majied, tell us about you. Let us know something we don't know.
Well, it's a great question. My journey into education really started early on. I'm a product of a single mother, and the 5 of us, she really imposed a strong value of education early on. We were first-generation college students, and then we inspired her to go after her bachelor's, and then she became a math teacher.
Oh, wow.
Became a high school principal, then became an elementary principal, and she just recently retired. So, I couldn't run from education. So I took my passion for technology and my passion for student learning and growth, and I started out as a computer programming and computer science teacher under the world of CTE. And then I wanted to continue to grow, and I became a school counselor. And then, developing programs and really inspiring teachers and students, and really bringing the passions together from the community and then into the classroom, really working on student outcomes. So I had a few years as a school counselor. It was actually 4 years as a school counselor, and I loved every moment of it. And then I said, you know what? I want to continue to grow, and I want to continue to advance, and I want to continue to really motivate students, families, and ultimately impact outcomes. So I joined the Hampton City Schools team, best decision of my life.
There you go.
So I joined the Phoebus Phantoms. I was the academy principal for hospitality and tour tourism. During my time there, had some phenomenal experiences, increasing our advisory board and really bringing the advisory board into the classroom, really making sure that students had that impact from day one. And then I said, after a few years of being the academy principal with hospitality and tourism, I said, I really want to go back and impact the freshman level. So I asked to become the freshman academy principal. During my time there, we continued to grow and make sure we had student outcomes. We were able to really reduce our retention rate, and some of those practices, Phoebus, they're still utilizing. So that's great there. We developed our advisory board for the freshman academy. It was magnificent team. And then a couple of years there, a few years at Phoebus High School, I decided to, I came over and joined the Crabber Nation. And once again, phenomenal experiences for the last 2 years. It was, I had great leadership, a great administrative team, and ultimately a fantastic group of teachers. So that's been my journey. And then, I now have the opportunity to continue my time with the Crabber Nation and continuing to work in partnership with our community and continue to lead our school.
And so when you went over to Hampton High School, which academy principal were you? What did you?
I was over the International Baccalaureate program.
Okay.
And then I was also over the Virginia, the Maritime Academy, the Virginia Ship Repair Association.
Very cool. So neither of you are from Hampton. You're not Hamptonians, correct?
No.
Now, Tanya, you had said you're Southern California. So is that where you grew up?
Well, no, my father was in the military, so we traveled a lot, actually every 2 years until I was in high school. I went to high school in Germany. So we traveled all over the country and Europe and Asia. So I pretty much consider myself to be kind of like a citizen of the world. But I'm now a Hamptonian. I've been here long enough that this is home. My mother's from Richmond and my father's from down south in Georgia. So this is home now.
So you went to high school in Germany. Do you speak German?
No.
I was going to say,
It sounded
I
like
took several
my
years of high school, which was decades ago, so I remember very little, but I was going to try to slip something in there with you.
Deutsch. No.
No, okay, well,
No, I actually
you
took
don't have to shut
French,
me up.
which is,
You
I actually took French. And I attended Free University for a little bit, and which is really interesting, not speaking German, but I was successful and it was a lot of fun.
Excellent. So you grew up all over the world.
Yeah.
And how about you?
So I'm an East Coast person. I've lived in New Jersey. I was born and raised in New Jersey. I've bounced around from Virginia to Georgia. I lived in Atlanta for several years. Went to college at Norfolk State University. Okay. Once I left NSU, I said, you know what, I love Hampton Roads. This is going to be home. So, that was back in 2004, and I haven't left since.
Well, we hope you don't leave. Hopefully this is definitely home.
This is home.
This
is definitely home, yes.
So again, new in your positions, but neither of you were new to those high schools because you were academy principals at each of the high schools before your promotion to executive principal. So let's talk about Hampton High School for just a moment. Now we know we always say that there's 16 wall-to-wall academies within our 4 high schools, but truly each of the high schools have 5 because you mentioned freshman academy. Even though each of our high schools all have freshman academy. So we know we have freshman academy. What are the other 4 at Hampton High?
I'm glad you asked. We have some magnificent academies at the Hampton High School. I would like to start with the Virginia Repair Association, the Maritime Academy, the Virginia Ship Repair Association. We're doing some magnificent things there. The students have actually developed a bit of a franchise. They are developing, they're planning, they're creating, and then they're selling their particular products.
Oh, wow.
So therefore, they are impacting the community in that way. They are able to look at water design and look at, our pollution system. And the Virginia Marine Society has really partnered with us. So the Maritime Academy doing some magnificent things.
And they've got a great learning space too. Because I've had the opportunity to visit and go into that learning space because we're always talking about, and I didn't mean to cut you off, we're definitely gonna get to your other 3 academies, but I wanted to put a plug in during this high school transformation that we've been experiencing over the last 6-7 years. It's also about having those authentic learning spaces so they're not just sitting at a desk looking at a book and finding out that trade. So I've been in there and I mean, wow, it's quite impressive.
Thank you. The Virginia Ship Repair Association, which is actually is the first named academy for Hampton City Schools, and those students take great pride in that. Then moving on to the Academy of Technology and Engineering, we actually are developing our sound engineering booth. So therefore, if you like singing, if you like poetry, rapping, whatever your design is, we have it for you. So any student at Hampton City Schools that might have that creative spirit, come on over to the Academy of Technology and Engineering. Then we have the best leadership and college prep academy in the entire city, the International Baccalaureate Program, the IB program. The students are going off to top tier universities, gaining scholarships. I wasn't an IB student when I was in high school, but our students are brilliant. They're amazing. And then we also have the Academy of Health, Human, and Financial Services. Having a school counseling background myself, that is a program that's near and dear to my heart, because those students are not only learning about theory, but they are practicing technique as well. So when they go out to the university level or whenever they want to practice their trade, they're able to do that right here, hands-on. So all of our academy, hands-on academies, and our teachers are doing a phenomenal job working with each and every student.
There is a lot of great things going on, but I will admit, even though I think that sometimes I can sing when the windows are down and it's just me in the car and the wind's going and the music's up and I'm like, oh yeah, I sounded good. No, I did not. So I will not be joining you there, but I would love to see the students engaged there soon.
I will tell you this, Mr. Bell has said, he promised me, Mr. Majied, I will make you sound amazing. So therefore, I'm like you, my confidence when it comes to singing is, for me, I said, I can't sing a lick. He said, Mr. Majied, just go ahead, create the lyrics, I got you. So
I don't
there's always a home.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Well, I do also know they can disguise your voice, so that might be what I need.
Absolutely.
So how about over at Bethel High School? Again, freshman academy, but what are the other 4 academies?
Absolutely. So we have the Governor's Health Science, which is actually the oldest academy in Hampton. It's also the largest academy. It's supported by a wonderful advisory team, starting with Centera, and a lot of other medical interests within the community. They've given the students opportunity to do everything from attend live surgeries to helping them with blood drives and different things like that in the community. So we're really excited about those partnerships. They also have an animage table, which is sort of like a simulation of the human body, which gives them almost a live look into various things from surgery to just diagnosing different ailments. And we have the Law and Public Safety Academy, which has our legal studies, our law enforcement, and our EMT. Firefighter EMT, which is supported by all the entities within Hampton, the Hampton Police Department, Hampton Fire Department, and also the Commonwealth Attorney, who spent significant amount of time with the students this summer working on some summer projects. We're extremely excited about those. We also have the Media Arts and Design, which is, I think it's had a resurgence with new teachers that we've added. We have journalism. They run our Bare Facts. We're looking at them doing morning announcements and different things like that. The Bare Facts is our newspaper, I'm sorry. And they play a huge role in getting all the information out within the entire building. And then we have our Trail Academy, which is our Transportation, Analytics, Information, and Logistics Academy. And this is our Business Academy. There's a lot of focus on drones, creating them, flying them. We also have networking and programming in this academy as well.
Is that the academy, and I may be wrong, so please correct me, but is that the academy, I remember for one of the summer institutes, like one of the summer institutes, like whenever the students go out, they work with a business partner to solve a real world problem within that business. I want to say they worked with Public Works, and they got to actually go to the Monitor Merrimack Bridge Tunnel, which is what I pass through every day. And I saw them, like pictures of them in hard hats, and they were like underneath, and they were peeking their head out, looking at the cars go by. Is that correct?
Yes. They were working on them with a project of trying to figure out if they had to rebuild the bridge, where would everyone go? So it was pretty big. It was
where would we go?
And that was one of the things they were trying to figure out. And actually, they would relocate you to another city, is what they were.
That's what they ended up.
That was what they ended up with. But it was a lot of fun. The kids really enjoyed it, and we heard about it throughout the whole year.
That's awesome. And then also talking about learning spaces. I mean, there's some impressive learning spaces over at Bethel as well. I know I've been at the Governor's Health Sciences Academy. I did not have my blood pressure taken, but I've seen them do blood pressure for other visitors. They were doing the sutures, that antimage table. I did have the opportunity to kind of slice and dice a cadaver, a virtual cadaver, and thankfully, because then you could put it back together and put him or her back together, and another student could then do what they really needed to do since I messed it all up. You have a courtroom. You have an actual courtroom in the middle of your school.
Yes.
And it's not just to send students if they're misbehaving. That is truly, you're doing like court trials, simulations. So that's super impressive.
Yes.
And then you also have the simulator where you can go on and drive, which I have not had the opportunity to do that yet. And I want to definitely get there and try that one time. But
Absolutely.
lots of different amazing
things.
learning spaces there as well.
And we're getting an ambulance probably in January. So
We're getting an ambulance.
we are extremely excited about that for our fire EMT, which will be in collaboration with Governor's Health Science. So we're very excited about all the spaces and all the opportunities that we afford the students. So look forward to a lot of exciting things to happen with these academies, the largest high school in Hampton, I have to say.
Oh, and she gave us side eye on that one. The largest high school, the largest academy. I was like, would you like to rebuttal?
No, it's an amazing school over at Bethel. All of our schools.
All of our schools, absolutely.
And just
Absolutely.
the tremendous growth that we're all having and opportunity. But it all goes back to the core value of teaching and learning. So
Absolutely.
really making sure that all of our staff members, all of our teachers, all of our families are working in collaboration together. So therefore we can continue to march towards that 100% of accreditation.
Absolutely.
Well, and that is amazing. We do have 4 wonderful high schools. They all have great opportunities. And kind of looking at your teachers a little bit, when we all went to high school, a teacher just really had to have a major in English or some kind of math degree. But, when you look at the academies, again, we talk about it's kind of that middle school concept where those core teachers have the same students they kind of float amongst and they teach through that lens of their academy. But you've got really some specific content that needs to be taught by our experts, our educators. So it's not just, how it used to be decades ago.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, we're recruiting different people to help us write the curriculum from the community and business partners to, HPD, the Hampton Police Division, EMT. They're helping write that curriculum with us and giving our teachers experiences too so that they understand what they're teaching.
You're absolutely right. And for us, to give you an example with the Maritime Academy, we have professionals coming in on a monthly basis, working side by side with our teachers to deliver content. So it's really important for our students to really see, wow, the community is invested in us. So that has really been a plus for the last several years as our students have seen that ultimate growth.
And we always say all the time, the academy model is ultimately to graduate the portrait of a Hampton graduate, that we want them to have those skills as they graduate to go on to college, career, be life ready. And another thing that we talk about is, just because you're in an academy does not mean that's what you're going to do the rest of your life. And sometimes you really may not like that academy. You've got the opportunity to switch that one time if you want to try a different academy. And it hopefully will save some parents a little bit of money if they do go that college route, that they decide that's not a major I want to go towards, or I really enjoyed this, so let me get into that major. And they're not switching majors their junior or senior year in college, and it's saving a little bit of money in the pockets of parents and a little bit of time for students so that they can graduate and then go on to their careers. So it really is about that.
And also with that saving money and time, all of our schools are promoting our AP and dual enrollment courses. At the Hampton High School, we also have the IB, to where it's not just closed to IB students. I have opened up the school or IB courses to any student within the Hampton High School. So therefore, any student will have an opportunity to take a dual enrollment class, an AP course, or an IB course, if they so choose.
Absolutely. I think it's important to for our community to know that every school does have dual enrollment classes that are available. At Bethel High School, I think we offer everything. We offer math, science, social science, and English. So while we are not promoting necessarily associate degrees, we are in a position to where we have had several students to go into college and their classes have been accepted in their majors. We just had a young lady go and they accepted hers in biology. So that's huge, and that's a lot of money that her parents get to save. So that's something that we want the community to know that we offer in every school, those opportunities.
I know that with Phoebus High School, they've got the ACE Academy, the Academy of the College Experience.
Right.
And that is the focus point of those students to graduate with their associate's degree right before they graduate their high school diploma. But that opportunity is there for all 3 or the 3 other high schools, all 4 total.
Absolutely.
I mean, I've got I've got 2 children. I've got one in college, so definitely spending some money. And then I've got one that's an 8th grader. And we have already had those conversations of, it doesn't matter where you go to high school, but you need to focus on some dual enrollment because that'll prepare you for college, hopefully save us a little bit of money. Now that I know really how expensive college is, it's mind-blowing.
It all goes back to the rigor, the relevance, and the relationship. All of our students from dual enrollment to just any teacher in our buildings. We're always preaching, making sure that we have that relevance. Where's the curriculum? Making sure that we are following that valuable curriculum that the district is putting out.
Yeah. So as we kind of close up, we learned a little bit about you both. We learned about your individual high schools as far as we know that they're similar, but they're different as regards to the academies that are there. Anything upcoming soon or this year that you're excited about?
I'll let Dr. Howard start.
Yeah. There's quite a few things. Our back to school night is on the 21st. So we're excited to see our parents, excited to see our students in the community. We also have My Future, My Journey coming up. We're excited about that. We have several different things going on right now and that's the nice thing about Hampton City Schools and the academies. We're never short on events, community events. There's always an opportunity for parents in the community to come and see exactly what it is that we're doing in the individual schools. And a lot of times we schedule those things purposely on different days so that you can go to all 4 high schools and you can see that pretty much all of us are doing the same things, maybe just in different academy models, but whatever it is that you can get at Bethel, you can get at Phoebus, you can get at Hampton, you can get at Kickinton. And I think that's extremely important that the community understand that.
Well, and I will kind of put also just a little bit more about that 9th grade, the My Future, My Journey. That is something we do each year for all 4 of our high schools. They go to the Hampton Roads Convention Center. It's our 9th graders. We've got, hundreds of business partners that are there. They set up booths. I mean, I know that we bring in our big production truck. You'll see fire truck, ambulance, military there, and the students get to go around with like kind of their passport and find out, really kind of more information about some of the career choices they might like. So that helps make that decision making a little bit easier for which academy for their sophomore year. So that is coming up at the beginning of October for all of our freshmen. So that's exciting. Anything over at Hampton High?
Well, we have a lot of exciting things going on. We're in collaboration with pretty much all of the high schools. We're planning a fatherhood breakfast coming up towards the beginning of the spring. So we collaborate quite a bit. Some of the differences, when we look at, our girls basketball team just winning the state championship. That has been amazing. I had to throw that in there. And
they were at our school.
We could talk about how,
the game was at your
school.
We hosted it for you.
They did a great job hosting.
We were happy to do it. Yes, we're excited.
We could talk through some of the differences as far as how the Hampton High School led the division with our mathematics rate, score of 93% this past year. We could also talk about all of the amazing things that all of our academies are doing to for student growth. But ultimately, the one thing that we all have in common, it goes back to teaching and learning. All of our teachers really have a true passion for students, families, and overall outcomes. As a new executive principal, I'm so excited working with each and every staff member just because it really brings just a great joy to me knowing the efforts that they put in. And I think Dr. Howard can speak to that regarding her building. But I think we have some of the most phenomenal teachers in the entire state of Virginia.
We do. I think you would be hard pressed to go into any classroom and any high school and not see good teaching and learning and engagement. I think what we have perfected at Hampton City School is access. And that's so very important. And as executive principals, it's our job to ensure that our students have access to equity as it relates to all different rigor, all different types of classes. And I think we do that very well because the academy model lends to it. So we joke a lot. The nice thing is that, like I said, we've known each other for a very long time. So we beg, borrow, and steal. And this year we're going to have the highest math numbers out of the high schools because we've already, stolen a little bit from Hampton, and we're more than happy to share as well. But it's all in good fun. I think the most important thing is that we want all of our students to be successful academically. And so we have no problems. We're on a chat. We talk I think, all the time. You know, we have monthly dinners, lunches, just so that we keep in touch, so that we are always talking about what's going on and sharing those ideas and sharing, what did you think about this? And asking those questions. You know, I don't know how to get over this hump. What are you all doing for this?
That's awesome.
What are you doing? So it works really, really well. So again, we're one community, one transformation. So that helps to ensure that every student in Hampton is getting what they need to be successful in the real world.
And that's that whole excellence with intentionality.
Absolutely.
Which is now kind of that tagline for our new superintendent, Dr. Haynes.
Absolutely.
We're being intentional.
Absolutely.
With those expectations
That's
to
right.
create excellence for students.
Yes.
Have a laser focus.
Laser focus.
Well, I appreciate both of you all taking time from your busy schedules to come out and kind of share a little bit more about you and also share about your schools. And I'm just so excited to see you both in these new roles and look forward to what's to come this year and to see who has the highest math score.
Thank you. Good luck, Dr. Howard.
Good luck to you, Mr. Majied.
And thank you for joining us on HCS Connects. Remember, it's easy to stay connected.